how did you get into shooting, performing in the kink space?
Yeah, so I originally started with my entire career I've done corporate work. I lost my job during the pandemic, and like many content creators, the pandemic has birthed us, gave us new life. So I lost my job, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be broke. We need to figure out a hustle or something else. And I had always been attracted to trans women. And, you know, I have a lot of friends in the trans porn industry. And at the time, a lot of them were creating content that was just a little subpar. You know, they needed male performers. They also needed help with video editing, video production. So I began producing content with trans women back in 2020. And then, you know, it's just kind of like the brand and the content creation just continued to grow, began to attract or, you know, go towards things that I had always been attracted to, like latex, explored the femdom world and more kinks outside of just producing content with beautiful trans women.
Mm-hmm. So do you identify as a sub, a fetishist? Like, what does that look like for you? And is it different between performing and your personal life?
So I identify as a switch, I would say. So I can be dom and I can be sub. You know, even in my personal life, I bounce off of the energy of my partner. So if my partner is more submissive, I'm going to be the dominant one, like just sit back and just take it. But if, you know, my partner is a dom or very dominant, then I enjoy kind of giving up that dom hat and being a sub.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to subbing, like what kind of headspace are you in? Like, do you regress? Are you like a slutty bottom? I know you do a lot of pegging, so I'm curious about that.
Yeah, so I turn into a slutty bottom. I could be a bit of a power bottom or a size queen when it comes to, you know, getting in that space. So I do revert to, you know, I enjoy extreme pegging when it comes to doing that femdom. I think bigger looks better on camera.
It does. Okay, what is the biggest size you've ever taken?
Oh, whew. I got some out in the car. If I know we were gonna talk about.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
One of my larger dildos is probably about like that big and probably about that wide.
Holy shit.
I think the diameter is about an 8-inch circumference.
Mm-hmm. How do you prep for that?
So, you know, having dated and hooking up with trans women for many years, that kind of was like my intro to anal play. Mm-hmm. And then I had never did pegging before in my personal life or even in, you know, content until I had decided to branch out into shooting femdom pegging content when after already doing trans content. So that anal play preparation with trans women was kind of like a good starter for me. And then, you know, then as I began to do pegging, you know, I start small and then go bigger and bigger. And, you know, I guess the main thing is making sure I'm clean for a good time. And it's like the worst when, you know, you're a messy bottom.
Yeah, there was one time I was pegging this guy and he was not cleaned out at all. And the entire bed sheet was just like shit stained.
Fuck.
And the smell of it, I mean, like, there's nothing worse than that. And trying to like transition from something sexy to like, okay, I need to clean you up like a baby or a dog now is just the absolute fucking worst.
For me, that ruins it for me. Like, I'm out of my subspace. Like, if I were to make a mess, I'm out of it. Like, I feel embarrassed like a bad dog. Like, I'm just like embarrassed and it's over with for me. So, you know, multiple rounds douching helps, and to do that prep work before you get to your playtime.
And do you also fast? I know some people fast for a little while. There was one sub I shot with and he like didn't really eat for 2 to 3 days in order to be totally cleaned out, like not a speck.
Yeah, I do a bit of fasting. Like, I've converted to when I'm gonna film, I try to eat light, maybe do veganism. I know I have a fast metabolism, so that helps that I can really time out my eating habits so that, it's tough when you're producing content, pegging content, and you haven't eaten. You get really low energy towards the end of the shoot, so you do need to eat. I need to eat something. Like I'll have like this last night I ate, but this morning, what did I eat this morning? I like oatmeal in the morning, maybe like 4 to 5 hours, and then maybe 2 hours before filming, I begin to clean out. I just know that I've timed my body that I have it down, but I'm sure some people need to just fast for a day or two, but I can't do that.
Yeah, it's very like dependent on each person's bodies. Okay, because you're a size queen, have you ever gotten fisted before?
Yes, I started my fisting journey I remember the first time a dom had asked to fist me, and I was like, yeah, right, hell no. But as I continued to go bigger and bigger, yeah, fisting's actually pretty fun now. And I remember the first time I actually had an orgasm while being fisted, and it was a great experience.
Yeah, just punching the prostate
punching
back and forth.
stroking.
Yeah, I started fisting recently. I think I did my first fisting shoot probably a couple months ago.
Congrats.
And it feels amazing just getting your hand up there. It's kind of like playing with the Muppets, in my opinion. And then you can like really hit the prostate and
turn it into a hand puppet.
A hand puppet, exactly. And they're making all these noises. And if they're really loose, you can like dive in with both hands.
I haven't
and just
gotten
like
into. I'm not that loose yet. I haven't
double-handed.
gotten into double hands yet, but
you'll get there.
yeah, we'll
I
see.
mean,
It's
the size
that's
of
a
that
part of the
dildo.
journey. The fisting journey is double hands, and then getting past this part of the wrist, and then getting past this part, and then I can't go that deep. Depth is something that I'm still working on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different for each person, right? Like some people can go like really wide, some people go really deep, and it's body to body. How do you train for depth? Because I assume that's your intestine's your intestine. You can't really stretch it out or whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Hanky Toys makes a very good. It's like a snake-looking dildo, and. Yeah, I don't really train that as much as I should. I do just film a lot, so it's kind of like I need to give my body breaks, and so a lot of times my training is during the filming. But there are toys that you can get to like go deep. They're not as wide. They're just a really long, like snake-ish looking thing to like continue to go with the curvage of your intestines as you go up. So
Okay.
yeah.